I'm pretty sure our passengers will be extremely happy to be back at the gate, because that was, I mean, I'm just happy to be able to walk away from that one. And what's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back. It is your boy Blue, and we are back here on X-Plane 11 in the Boeing 737-900 Ultimate. It's an amazing aircraft. It's free to download. It is still in beta, so it has a little bit of issues. As you can see, we're using the Delta loading stuff. Today we're flying to one of my favorite airports in the world to fly into, and that is Juneau, Alaska. So today's flight's gonna have us going from San Francisco to Juneau, Alaska. We'll have about 12,000, just under 13,000 kilograms of fuel on board, and airtime is looking like about 3 hours and 38 minutes. So we'll be cruising at flight level 340, and we'll be using the Gunner 2 departure Macker transition. So I've already got the aircraft all set up. Passengers are loaded, and pretty much just waiting for me, waiting for pushback. We'll be taking off at 28 left here in San Francisco International, and head to the north, up the coast, up to Juneau, Alaska. Alright, so let's go ahead and then plan our pushback. Definitely a great app if you've never heard of it, for pushing your aircraft back on X-Plane. Beautiful shadows you can see down there on the ground. This is another free airport scenery that you can get on the X-Plane org store for San Francisco. Alright, so we're going to push back right about there. Looks good. Go ahead and click, left click, and then just hit enter, and that'll save it.
Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Sounds good. And we're pretty much ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and let them know that I am actually ready to push back now.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Alright, dope. While we're waiting for the tow to drive up for the pushback, let's make sure that the flight deck is ready to go. So we got an altitude set to 5,500, and we'll just kind of set our takeoff speed to somewhere like, we'll set it to 210. It's an okay climb out speed, it's decent, but we'll make sure that the passengers buckle up their seatbelts.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
I'm gonna go ahead and look up top as they start to push back. Let's go ahead and get the overhead ready for engine start. So I'm gonna turn on all the fuel pumps, including the sensor fuel pumps. Turn all the hydraulic pumps on. We'll leave the probes until engine start. And the next thing we'll do is we'll turn our left and right packs off. We'll leave the isolation valve on. And that's pretty much it. After that, we'll hit on this right one. That'll be engine 2. We'll go to ground once we're ready. And make sure these seatbelt signs are on.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, let's go down here, release the parking brake, and now you can see the jetway
Starting pushback. And you may
moving
start
back, which is pretty darn cool. And the pushback truck should start pushing us any second now. There we go, we're off. Now that we're pushing back, we can go ahead and start the engines. Let's go back to the overhead panel. Again, it's already ready. All we gotta do is hit this button right here. Go to ground. Go down here and watching N1 up at the top of your screen, 8%, 10%. And sometimes I kind of forget what I need to do. Is somewhere between 15 and 20. You go ahead and add fuel, and that engine will go ahead and start running. So it looks like we have one good engine. You couldn't really hear it too much. I'm not sure what's up with that, but go ahead and switch to engine number 1. Make sure to turn the generator on too. Don't forget about that. Once again, watching N1 rise. It should go a little bit quicker since we got one engine already running. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and tune in. Correct frequency, which is going to be Unicom right now. We are on VATSIM, but there's no ATC on right now. It's pretty early in the morning. Switch that over. And we'll introduce fuel. And as you can see there, that engine is fired up. Got a good engine start. Alright, so with a good engine start, we'll go ahead with the left generator and yaw damper, probe heat. I usually just kind of leave the packs off.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
For now. And we'll go ahead and set that parking brake.
Disconnecting tow.
As
Stand
well
by.
as arm the spoilers. And we'll go ahead and add flaps. Be flaps 5 today. Can't really see it, but it's right there. Flaps 5. Also gonna shut the APU off. We no longer need that, so I'm gonna go APU off. We are using the generators. Also gonna turn the APU bleed off.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright, perfect. The tow was on the way out. Just looking over our controls one last time. We look pretty good. We got plenty of fuel on board. Everything is in the green. We have our APU off. Ground power is disconnected. NA ice as required, but it's not too cold right now in San Francisco. It's actually a very nice day. Altimeter is set. We're going to go ahead and turn the taxi lights on because we are ready to taxi. We'll be taxiing to 28 left. By looks like it's gonna be Alpha Foxtrot cross 1 left, 1 right. Foxtrot to 28 left. Alright, before we start moving, I'm gonna check our controls real quick. So that's how that's our nose wheel steering right there. Yep, that's working. Rudder controls are working. Look at that from the outside too. Left, right. And as you can see, our rudder is looking good as well. Great, great, great. All right, cool. We are ready to go. All right, releasing the parking brake, and we are rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. If you haven't already done so, please stow your carry-on luggage underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt. And also make sure your seat back and folding trays are in their full upright position. If you are seated next to an emergency exit, please read carefully the special instructions card located by your seat. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is prohibited on the entire aircraft, including the lavatories. Tampering with, disabling or destroying the lavatory smoke detectors is prohibited by law. If you have any questions about our flight today, please don't hesitate to ask one of our flight attendants. Thank you.
Alright, we're rolling up to the end of the taxiway at the end of 28 left. I'm going to go ahead and let the flight attendants know to prepare the cabin for departure, which hit wing and wing well.
Flight attendants for takeoff, please.
And we'll be listening for them to reply.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
There it is, and that means we are ready to go. Look off to our left, there are no aircraft on arrival. Again, we are on the VATSIM network flying as Alaskan 116 or Alaskan 116. And it's pretty early in the morning out here on the West Coast, so not a lot of people who probably fly out here are awake. That's kind of the case for a lot of times when I fly pretty early. Landing lights are on, all the lights are coming on. Get a rolling start. Slowly come up with a throttle. And I'm going to turn on a LNAV. Power set. Airspeed is alive. And there's 80 knots.
80 knots. V1, rotate.
And slowly pulling back on the
Positive rate.
stick there. There's positive rate and gear up. Back on the throttle.
.400.
And gear is up. Flying runway heading to gunner. Not sure why, but the passengers seemed to get freaked out on that takeoff. I didn't really do anything crazy. Gonna go to level change mode. That way we can hold our speed right here around 210 knots. I've never flown the gunner to arrival, so I'm interested to see where it takes us. It may take us over the city of San Francisco. It may not. There's 3,500. Go flaps up. And now that we have those flaps, so we don't need as much throttle to maintain that speed. So I'm coming back on the throttle slowly and bringing the nose up to try to maintain 210 knots, 210 knots. You can see the flight director right there is directing us to go just a little bit to the right, slight banking. We're at 245 knots right now, and we're losing speed as we get on that flight director there. We're only climbing to 5,500 initially. And I will go ahead and set auto throttle. And autopilot. So climbing through the bottom of these clouds right around, I think it started happening around like 4,500 or something like that. We'll bring our speed up though to 250 knots. There we go. So right now we're climbing via SID, and on the SID itself, it tells us to climb up to about 5,500 as we fly out to a Macker once we pass gunner. Actually, I think it says 5,100, something like that. But we're just going to, since we don't have any ATC online, we're going to pretty much clear ourselves to climb to our cruise. Turn the RTO off. Alright, so let's continue our climb. We'll go up to about 18,000. We'll clear ourselves to 18,000 since there's no ATC online, and then we'll eventually go to 34,000, which is our cruise altitude today. Go into level change mode. And that should go ahead and start climbing us while maintaining 250 knots, and then we'll change that speed once we get to 10,000. We'll leave the landing lights and all that stuff on too. until we get to 10,000 feet. Alright, we're well past 10,000. We'll go ahead and turn off the landing gear. There we go. Put it in the off position. We'll go up and turn off all of the landing lights, taxi lights, and all that stuff. I could have did this earlier, but we need to turn the packs back on so everybody can get some air. I actually should have did that right after takeoff, and I forgot. Logo lights can come off. Position strobes need to be on strobe. Wing and wing well can go off, and the collision lights will stay on. We already have our oxygen altitude at 34,000 feet. Or altitude, our cruise altitude set to 34,000 feet. And now we can go ahead and let the flight attendants know that they can go ahead and get to work.
You can resume your duties.
And we'll go ahead and start drink service and in-flight entertainment.
Captain, we have started serving refreshments. Captain, we have started the in-flight entertainment.
Thank you, ladies. And our in-flight entertainment today is going to be Airplane Repo. That's actually what I'm going to be watching throughout this flight. So Airplane Repo will be our in-flight entertainment. Now, because of copyright reasons, obviously I can't show that on our video, but you can watch whatever you like. So as the flight attendants are catering to our amazing passengers, I'm going to continue our climb. I'm going to change this to flight level 34,000 feet, which will be our cruise level today. And now we're passing 180, so we're going to switch to standard for the barometric, for the baro. There we go. We'll zoom out a little bit. There's our top of climb at about 40 miles. We can also switch to VNAV and allow the aircraft to decide how fast we go up. As long as I set the FMS right, that VNAV will work. And I am glad it is, because I like it when it works. But everything's looking good. The cabin is pressurizing as it should. Weather's pretty smooth, no turbulence so far. No red lights, no warning signs, no beeps, no nothing. So far so good. Hopefully it stays this way for the rest of the flight. So again, our ET is looking at about 3 hours, 38 minutes. Probably a little less than that now that we're in the air. We're not to our cruise yet, but it'll be about the same amount of time. So how about we have some time-lapse fun on our way up to our cruise? I like that idea.
the flight deck. We'll level off now at our cruising altitude. We're going to go ahead and turn off the fasten seatbelt sign. I'd like to kindly ask if you are staying in your seats to keep those seatbelts comfortably fastened for your safety. Onboard computer showing an on-time arrival, no ATC delays either. We're going to stay quiet up here, have you enjoy the flight and the service. Once again, welcome aboard.
Alright, you heard the man. We are at our cruise at flight level 340. That's 34,000 feet. Barrel is set to standard. We are cruising right now at about Mach 0.78, and we're planning on staying there for a while. We have a bit of a crosswind right now off of our left wing. Not going to have too much wind help today. We're looking at about 3 hours and maybe 15 minutes left in this flight down into Juneau. We may see some rough weather in the Juneau. There's a few weather systems out there, but we'll look more into that when we get closer. But as for now, just gonna kind of hang out, chill, enjoy the flight, enjoy the view, enjoy the in-flight entertainment. You know, we got plenty of fuel. Everything is in the green. No worries right now. Welcome aboard, guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and always supporting my videos. I do always really do appreciate that. So we'll talk a little bit more as we get into the flight. Just gonna hang back, chill. Referring to the flight attendants and passengers and things like that, the reason is because I'm using a add-on called SimBuddy. You can check it out at simbuddy.com. And so right now we just finished our drink service. You can't actually see anything popping up on your screen, but you should be able to hear the sounds as you hear the captain call out, and you can hear the flight attendants call out. So I'm about to go ahead and tell the flight attendants to start serving the passengers food. We just finished the drinks, and now it's finished. We need to start on the food, and flight entertainment's already going on, so we'll go ahead and get that taken care of.
Captain, we have started serving food.
So food service is going to take about an hour. We're able to do it twice in this flight. We still have 3 hours and 10 minutes or so left in the flight, but so we have plenty of time to do drinks, food service twice. We'll do drink service about 3 times, and we'll play 2 separate 95-minute movies in the course of this flight before we land. And I'm going to want to get my score, my SimBuddy in-flight score, to about 100%, so that the passengers are the most happy as possible, so that I can add to our airline score. And for you guys who already use SimBuddy and have already heard of it, the airline that I'm flying for is called Blue Arrow Global. That is my personal airline. We're going to be doing we're talking more about that in other videos later on. There's a big update coming to that, and I've been kind of waiting for the update to come out for me to post more SimBuddy content. But for right now, you know, I just kind of happen to be using it for this flight, so I want to kind of let you guys know what it is. So yeah, food is being served and the passengers are gonna eat up, so I'm gonna go get me something to eat too. So we just crossed over the United States-Canadian border. We are now headed over into Canada. Vancouver is just off of our right wing, passing over Victoria as well, and Seattle not too far back behind us. But it's been a good flight so far. Again, it's still been very smooth. Haven't had really any issues, which is pretty cool. It's been a pretty smooth, uneventful flight, I could say. We may see a few bumps. We're expecting to see some clouds and or some more clouds and a little bit of weather up as we get closer to Alaska. But right now we're pretty good, pretty smooth. Seatbelt signs have been off this whole time. The flight attendants just finished their food service, so I will go ahead and let them go ahead and begin on their drink service and refreshments for the passengers, because I'm pretty sure after having a full meal you're gonna want a little something to drink. So I'm going to go ahead and tell them to serve the passengers refreshments. And we still have a little over 2 hours to go in this flight. Probably gonna go ahead and start the second movie here in a little while. Let some time. I'm trying to time it perfectly so that our in-flight entertainment ends right before we land. That's kind of what my idea is. Maybe right before our top of the scene, or right before we turn our base to final, whatever. I would like that's when I want the in-flight entertainment to end. I also think it's a good time, you know, since we're still cruising, we're still hanging out. My quote today is a little different. It's kind of about pushing through hard times, pushing through the pain. So how hard do you push when you get tired? Like, how many reps do you have left in you when your body says no? Like, how many hours do you have left in you when the mind says no? How many times can you get back up after life has beaten you down time and time again? And I don't know a person in the world who can't relate to that quote right there, because I know that we've all been through some hard times, probably going through hard times right now. I get messages from time to time from people who watch some of my videos to tell me that I've inspired them, and I'm like, that's great to hear. I love hearing that, because that's the reason I'm here. I'm here to game, I'm here to have fun, and I'm here to motivate you guys, inspire you guys to do something bigger, better, more amazing with your life. The thing is, in order to get to that bigger, better life that you want, you're gonna have to go through, you got to drive through, you got to swim through, climb through some really crazy, stupid obstacles. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't gonna just come easy. That's not the way it works. It never comes easy. Anything worth having is worth fighting for, and that's something I extremely believe in. I've been saying that quote since I was like real young. Like, anything worth having is definitely worth fighting for. So never give up, man. Like, I feel like I always repeat this, but I think I'm just here to remind you, like, seriously, like, never ever ever freaking give up. Like, it's never too late. It doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how many times you fell down, it doesn't matter how many times you failed, it doesn't matter how young you are. Like, you can still get back up, you can still do things, you can still make it happen. It's up to you. It's your dream. Take advantage of it. God gave you that dream, nobody else. Only you can accomplish that idea, that dream. Yeah, somebody may take the idea, they may take it as inspiration, they may do something similar, but nobody's ever gonna do it like you would do it. So, like, can't nobody replace you. Irreplaceable, man. Like, seriously, irre-freaking-placeable. Like, don't let people talk down on you. And I'm just kind of rambling now, just to kind of like push you, motivate you. Like, yo, seriously, when I go work out, I heard a motivational speaker say one time that don't start counting until it hurts. And every time once I heard that, I was like, yo, that's real. Like, that's a really cool, like, rule to live by. And so whenever I go work out, if I'm doing push-ups, I'm doing pull-ups, I'm doing some kind of bench press, like, not every time. Some workouts are specific that they need to be timed, they need to be counted, but whenever I'm just kind of doing something, I'll be doing that workout. And then once I start feeling tired, once my mind starts saying, okay, yeah, you know, maybe this is not such a good idea, that right there, right when your mind is telling you, no, I can't do this, this is not possible, like, this is crazy, like, you haven't run that far before, you haven't done this many before, that's the time you start counting. That's when you start keeping track. That's when the real breakthrough happens, right when you want to break down. I'm telling you, man, right before the breakdown is the breakthrough. And so anyways, I hope you guys are inspired by that. I'm gonna sit back and try to enjoy the rest of this flight. We have some beautiful views coming up here in Juneau, and some beautiful views on the way there too, over Alaska and Canada. I love this part of the planet, man. Like, it's a beautiful area. It's so great, it's so amazing. So I'm gonna be having a few different cool aerial shots, wing views and whatnot, and I just hope you guys enjoy the video and enjoy the view, man. I know you guys love aviation, you love flying, and I hope you love motivation. I'm hoping I'm motivating you. But anyways, I will see you in a little bit. Guys, we've reached our top of descent. We are not very far out from Juneau, Alaska, and we're descending out of 34,000, and I basically just set altitude down to 3,400. That's where we're going to end up. And so we're descending down there. We will hold at EEF, the EEF waypoint, to lose a little bit more altitude. We descended a little later than I was expecting. I had to make a last-minute change to the end of our flight plan. So we kind of missed our actual top of descent. So I'm trying not to descend too quickly and hurt all the passengers' ears and all that kind of stuff. So we'll make a nice descent. We'll hold there until we get to a reasonable altitude, and then we'll make our way into Juneau. But as far as that, we are expecting to land at runway 8 in Juneau, Alaska. And I can pull the chart up for you guys now. Here we go. So landing at the RNAV, runway 8, the final approach CRS is going to be 070, and minimum altitude at Minay is going to be 2,700, which is right here. So it's not like an ILS, anything like that, so it's not going to really guide us directly to the runway. As you can see, it's kind of like a little angle. So we're gonna be you know, approaching the runway at an angle and not straight on. And the reason that is because of this terrain over here is a bit high, as well as the terrain right in front of the runway. Flew in here before. We shouldn't have too much of an issue right now. We're gonna be flying over to the Elephant VOR, and that's where I said we're gonna make our hold to lose some altitude before we continue to Nimley and then to Ogami. But as far as weather in Juneau, Alaska, it is not so great. As you can see, we're already in our hold. I'm actually doing it manually, making right turns, and we're going to slow our speed down here to Mach 0.7 so that we can make a bit of a tighter turn. We have a lot of altitude to lose. We're actually not very far. We're actually 20 miles out from the airport, so we're extremely close. We're at 25,000 feet, so we have a lot of altitude to lose. So we'll be doing a few circles here. I hate when this happens, but I had poor planning towards the end of this flight plan. That's why that happened. But anyways, you have to deal with what it is. So we're gonna make a few holds here and just kind of spiral our way down to the ground and lose some altitude. But the weather in Juneau, as you can see right now, we're not far from Juneau now, and it's covered, it's overcast. The weather said that it's about 10 statute miles visibility, but I doubt that because it is raining, or I'm getting reports of rain at the airfield. And there are gonna be some pretty low clouds, so I'll be expecting a less than ideal approach visibility wise. So we'll see what we can get. We are doing the RNAV again. This is not an ILS. There is no auto land here. We'll be doing this manually, so I'm gonna need to get a good visual of the airfield, or at least the airfield lights, so that I can make my approach in the way that I would like to. Flying into the clouds now. As you can see, the strobe lights flashing off the clouds, just giving us that flash that you see on your screen. It's kind of trippy at first, but then at the same time, it's kind of cool. Alright, hit a little bit of turbulence now, and we also got some precipitation. Gonna add in the wipers on low. Speed seems to be okay. Getting everything back on track. It's getting a bit tough to see out of the windshield though. Pretty much in a no visibility state at the moment. All of our lights are on. I'm gonna go ahead and go gear down. Still trying to get ourselves on course. We're about 8 miles from our destination, hoping to break through this layer of cloud pretty soon. Just kind of entering it pretty slowly, because we cannot see a thing. So wish me luck. Definitely gonna enter this thing pretty slow. So right now I'm just kind of paying attention to my navigational help down here. One thing that's not correct is the altimeter is actually 312. 3012. This is a very dangerous airport to fly into when you don't have any visibility. Alright, flaps are all the way down and full. Still cannot see anything. And we are only 5 miles out. Alright, I'm taking control. I do see a beacon now. Just now seeing a beacon. I believe that is our airport. We're gonna shoot for that beacon. Very faint. If I pull this off, oh my gosh. Gear is down 3 green.
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude 7.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Alright, I got the field in sight. Ooh, I do know there is a big hill right before the runway, and I can't see it at all. Alright, there's our runway right there.
400.
A little bit off to the left. Gonna kill the auto throttle. Bit of a crosswind as well.
200.
Oh my god.
100.
Think rate.
50. 40. 30.
Little rudder.
20. 10.
And we're down. Oh my god. Reversers. Alright, reverse is green. Woo! Oh my god, that was hard.
80 knots.
I can't believe we got down safely. I really can't believe it. That was sketch. That was so sketch. No ILS. Pretty much visual. We could not see anything up until, I don't know, 1,000 above, maybe 500. I have to go back and watch the replay to see. Alright, we're gonna exit the runway to the left and taxi to parking. I'm pretty sure our passengers will be extremely happy to be back at the gate, because that was, I mean, I'm just happy to be able to walk away from that one. I started to think, is there gonna be a runway? Am I off by a lot? But anyways, well guys, thank you so much for watching, for riding along. It was a great flight for the most part. Very smooth all the way up until we got just to the south part of Alaska, the southern tip, I guess, of Alaska. We got a little bit of turbulence and flew over some overcast skies, and then, you know, obviously with our approach, got real sketchy real fast. Came in a little too high, had to adjust for that. Once we did get into the clouds, we pretty much lost all visibility from there on out. Got this precipitation. I was expecting to have a little weather out here, but was not expecting the visibility to be pretty much zero. It's funny because whenever I want to plan for this kind of thing to happen, it never works out. The bad news is we don't really get to see the nice scenery out here for Juneau, Alaska. But the cool thing is we got to see my attempt at landing in these conditions unexpectedly. Was not expecting to land in conditions like this, but I am not complaining. I'm going to be watching the replay and learning from it. Alright, well, that's when we'll be parking over there. That's weird. There's like a gray person walking. Alright. And parking brake. Shutting off engine 1 and 2. Well, that was fun and a little bit more eventful towards the end. But thank you guys for watching. Remember, you got 3 choices: give up, give in, or give it all you got. Peace, love, and God bless you. I'll see you next time, next video.